famous question is asked: What is big happening? What happened by Matan Torah? And it's asked by all the many mefarshim. By he kelis ubrokim, there was Matan Torah was given with kelis ubrokim, thunders and lightnings, and it says in the Medrash, when Hashem came down on Har Sinai, came down with the whole Merkavah, the whole world trembled. It says when Matan Torah was happening, everyone came. They came to their Navi, which is Bilam, said, "What's coming off? The world is going to be destroyed. What's happening?" So Bilam said, "Don't worry. Hashem is la'amei yitin. Hashem yivarech hasam b'shalom. Hashem is giving the Torah to Bnei Yisrael, and that's why the world don't worry." And as with famous the Gemara, it says, "Vayhi b'yem hashishi." It says the hay by Shlishi. It says by Matan Torah. It says this is the famous day, which means it says the pasuk says Eretz Yora v'Shakota. What do you mean Eretz Yora trembled v'Shakota? Then it quieted down. So it says B'tchila Yora. In the beginning, the world was trembling. V'chakach Shakota. Then it came. Then it quieted down. Then it calmed down. Why? Because it says when Hashem created the world, Hashem said, if the Bnei Yisrael are going to receive the Torah, okay. If not, im lav, achzer eskel matei v'aveu. And this is the famous thing. The whole world was created for the Torah. The world doesn't have an existence by itself. The whole concept, the whole idea, the whole purpose of creation was for Torah. And therefore, the world was trembling. The world was shaking for 2,448 years. If Bnei Yisrael are not going to receive the Torah, they're gone. The whole world is gone. What is this? So, what is this all about? What happened by Matan Torah? What is it that the world was shaking? What is the greatness of Matan Torah? And the way commentaries, Mefarshim, all elaborate, Torah was learned before too. Avraham Zokim V'Yeshe B'Yeshiva, Yitzchak Zokim V'Yeshe B'Yeshiva, Yankiv Zokim V'Yeshe B'Yeshiva, the Gemara in Yumed, the Gemara in Gedushin, brings in a lot of Mefarshim, there was yeshiva, and then later, the way the Rambam is Metayer, in the beginning in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, how they were learning, how the yeshivas became, till they came to Mitzrayim, they were learning Torah. They were learning Torah and they were doing mitzvahs. They observed all the mitzvahs of the Torah. Avram, Rashi brings down right away in Pashat Eildos, Afilei Tafshilin. So what is this? Is it because it says that Masechta Avodah Zarah from Avram Avinu had 400 prakim. They had a lot of. It looks like they even had more Torah than we had. So what happened here? By Matan Torah here, that such a great happening that changed the world, and it was given Bekelis Ubrakim. What is this all about? What's so great about it? Torah was there before, mitzvahs was there before. So many explanations there is. There's one of the explanations is said. It's explained that since before Matan Torah, they weren't commanded. There was no tzivui. So they were not mitzvah v'eisa. After Matan Torah, mitzvah v'eisa, as the Gemara says, Rabbi Yosef, Sayim Babakama, Sayim Gedushin, Godel mitzvah v'eisa, Yesem min mishayin mitzvah v'eisa. Someone who's commanded to do something is greater. But is this enough reason for this great happening, this Kelis V'Rokim, this big revolutionary happening by Matan Torah? Taisus explains there that why is Godla Mitzvah Ve'isa? Because he gets more schar, because a person does not command it, he doesn't have any tzahara standing against him. When a person is commanded on doing something, then he has the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is against it, and then he has to overcome his Yetzer Hara. But is this enough to explain the greatness of Matan Torah? So we'll just speak a little bit about what one of the inyanim that is explained and Pnimis HaTorah. See this? One of the basic inyanim that are explained is based on the famous medrash that it says. The medrash brings a mashal Matan Torah, mashal al-Melech that he gave out a decree, the Bnei Reimi and Bnei Surya, and he said, Bnei Reimi leyal l'Surya, v'lei Surya leyedu l'Reimi, meaning to say there was two places, there was two countries, and there was this decree that the one on top, the one in the higher country shouldn't go down to the lower one, the one to the lower one shouldn't go up to the higher country. Then after that, Bo HaMelech, then the king came, and he was Mavat L'Gzeira, and he said, okay, now you could come together. They could come together. Kach. This is the Lashon of the Medrash. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashemayim Shemayim L'Hashem V'aretz Nasnei Avnei Adam. Originally, what is creation? Where the world? There is the spiritual realm, then there is the physical realm. The world is the world. Arelm Hazagashmi is in the physical realm. Hashemayim Shemayim Lashem, Ruchni, spirituality and physicality, Gashmis do not mix. They can come together. It's impossible they should come together. Then after it says that's what they said in the beginning, and then Hashem said, then Ba Hamelech, then Yibsha said, Mevat L'Gzeira, Yenim Yerdu Lamata, V'Tachteinim Yalel Yenim. The ones above will come down here, and the ones below will go up above. What does this mean? What is this referring to? What is the idea here all about? So what does it explain? The basic explanation and teachings in the Sfarim is, no question about it, the Ovis learned Torah, they did mitzvahs, Kim Ovis Kol HaTorah Kula Nitna. But what was it? It was all in the spiritual realm. Meaning to say, like for instance, it says in Zohar, it says, all the stories that we read in the Torah, it's not only a story, Torah is not only a history book. It's not a history book at all. And the way it's in Zohar, it says if someone comes and he says that Torah is stories, history, it says very, very sharp words there. So everything that it says in the Torah has very deep thoughts. Not only deep thoughts, even in Pshuto Shel Mikra. So Moshe, it says in the Zayar that Yankov Avinu, when Yankov was Bebeis Lavan, and a long discussion there in the Torah, a long psukim whole parsha, speaking about at length about the maklis of Yankov that Yankov did with the sticks, with the Tzein Lavan. This is the same idea. What we do with film, this is what Yaakov was doing in the maklis. So everything that they did all the mitzvahs of the Torah, but it was all in the spiritual realm. In the simple, besides the fact that most mitzvahs they didn't have the gashmis of the mitzvah, they didn't have physical tefillin, and so on. So even things that they did in the physical world, it was still in the realm of spirituality. In other words, it stayed just like in simple words. The maklis of Yankov didn't change. Maklis of Yankov stayed just after whatever he did, and whatever kavanos he did, whatever yichudim he did, whatever spiritual ideas or godliness that he brought down here, it didn't change this maklis. And the same thing is by all the others. And there's a long discussion. It's not now the time for speaking about it. Avraham Avinu was doing achnos esorchim and so on. What is this all? This is all in the ruchnisdika level, in the spiritual realm. It didn't have an effect on the gashmisdika world, and it didn't change the gashmisdika world. After what happened after Matan Torah, after Matan Torah, what happened here? Al yenim yed al tachtenim, et tachtenim yal al yenim yed tachtenim. Shenamar, it says vayered Hashem al Har Sinai, and tachtenim yal al yenim. It says al Meisha Omar alei al Hashem. We had, this is symbolically saying that godliness, spirituality affected the Gashmizdika world, and the Gashmizdika world was elevated to a different realm, to a different level, to a level of spirituality. And this is meaning, simple words, meaning, we know, in other words, now when we take something in the physical world, we take anything, we take tzemer, we make tzitzis out of it, we may take a cloth, and we write parshas of tefillin or parshas of mezuzah, or we take a parchment, or we take other thing, glaf, and we make for tritzuas for tefillin. We take eir shel behema, we make for tefillin and eir shel and tritzuas, and so on. Everything we take a lulav, every other thing. This affects and changes this gashmis. And there's ibis, even though there's very many levels, there's a chayfet shel mitzvah, a chefetz shel kedusha. There is levels in how much it changes, but the point is, in other words, something that was done a mitzvah with it, something was not done a mitzvah, it's totally two different things. It's a different mitzvahs. It's something that film before Matan Torah, so to say, if someone would take, he knows the Torah, he would make parchment from the Eir of a Behemah, and he'd write down a parsha, and the same, then he would take it to and he'd make tefillin. He would have no kedusha whatsoever. Could throw it away. Now, anything, when you take a gashmizdika, a klaf, or anything else, and you prepare it for the mitzvah, especially when you do a mitzvah with it, it's a changed object. It's a chayfetz mitzvah, chayfetz kedusha, and you cannot. It's ton gnize and this is so. How could this be? Why ruchnis and gashmis, spirituality and physicality, have no connection whatsoever? Doesn't make sense. A person has a seichel, has a brilliant mind, and what his understanding, when he understands something, and he will dictate that something should change in this physical world, it's not going to happen. Why? Because seichel is something that is a ruchnizik thing. It's a spiritual thing. Has no effect on gashmis. Moreover, a person is going to take a concept. He's going to write down a very deep concept. He's going to write down a piece of parchment or a piece of paper, whatever it is. The piece of parchment or piece of paper is not going to have no spirituality in it. It still stays a gashmisdik thing. A person is going to say, a person may not be din. Now I'm speaking about now seichel, not speaking about Torah now. Now a person has not, because ruchnis is in the spiritual realm, gashmis is in the physical realm. One doesn't have effect on the other. They cannot combine. This is a different world. This is a different world. How is it? The same thing is here. We're speaking about a mitzvah. Now we're speaking about a person. A person is putting on tefillin. A hand that's putting on tefillin, and a hand that's not putting on tefillin. It's a different hand. A head that's putting on tefillin, and a head that's chas v'sholom not. It's a different. In the Gemara there is a special, so to say, special hagdara. A person who didn't put on tefillin, kol kafted limonach tefillin, is a different hagdara. So. Speaking about physical objects in the world, and the same thing is in the physical object. By a person, it changes his hand. It's a different hand. Many stories there is connected with it. The stories that even lately happened, the previous time, how the person who had put on tefillin and person didn't have put on tefillin, how the gashmis and the hand was. Not tzaddikim see it. We don't see it with we don't see it. But not only we don't have to have big tzaddikim. A spiritual person could see if this person did a mitzvah or not. Famous story in the Zayir. There's a story in the Zayir that the Yenuke was going. The Yenuke was very small. He was brilliant. He was a very high high tzaddik, so to say, and he saw these Tanaim walking, and he said, I realized that you didn't say the Shema. And he was right. He was right. And they say because they were asuk in other mitzvah, whatever it is. Spiritual people, not necessarily great tzaddikim, could see. Why could they see? Because there is this. Now, how is this taka? What does this mean? What does this mean? That a dover shebekdusha changes gashmis of the person, changes gashmis of the world. How is this? Even the ruchnius has no shaykh as the gashmis. Spiritual realm and physical realm are two different worlds. That's how their creation is. How is this? This is the point. This is what one of the things what Matan Torah caused. Yeah. By us, Ruchnis and Gashmi, spirituality and physicality have no connection. And one cannot affect the other. And that is how the world was created originally. What is the whole concept of the giving of the Torah? The Eibishter gave the Torah, and he said, the decree was in the first place, Hashemayim, Shemayim, Lashem, Varetzelis, Nasam, Neodim. That's how the Torah, that's how creation came about. There's the spiritual realm and the physical realm. How did it come about that it did change? That is because the Eibishter, God, Hashem, who is higher than physicality and spirituality, in the same way Hashem is higher than Gashmis, the physicality is higher than the highest level of spirituality. God is not limited in anything. And this is the idea when we say Hashem gave the Torah, and this gzeira, this separation from elyenim v'tachteinim, from spirituality and physicality, holiness and mundaneness was set aside. So this gave the power that, in other words, this caused that there should be this connection that by a person doing a mitzvah, Hashem gave us this power. It's not only what Hashem did. Hashem gave us this power that before that, everything what was done in the highest level, even they were tzaddikim gdelim, the Avos were in Merkava, the highest level of spirituality. A Merkava tzelakus, Merkava. Merkava means a chariot. That means they had no other will, no other desire, no other thought. They were a chariot to godliness 24/7. Every thought, every motion of theirs, every machshava dibur ma'isa of theirs was a chariot to godliness. So they were not only just tzaddikim; they were very high level of tzaddikim. Nevertheless, they would not be able to accomplish this to change the physical world. That their spirituality and kedusha and godliness should have an effect. But the power of Matan Torah, or the power of godliness, which the Eibishter is Kel Yochel, the Eibishter has no limitations, the infinite power of Hashem, caused that there should be the connection of Elyenim v'Tachteinim, and gave us this connection that we should be able to, by us doing a mitzvah, by us any mitzvah, anything that we do, causing a change in the physical world, causing a change in ourselves. This is the power that was given, and that is really the deeper meaning of when we say Godel HaMitzuvah V'Eiseh Mimi She'einu Mitzuvah V'Eiseh. It's not only how it's explained as we mentioned before, because on behalf of the person, he has a greater reward because he overcomes the Yetzer Hara, so on. No, Godel HaMitzuvah V'Eiseh is a deeper meaning. Godel HaMitzuvah V'Eiseh means when you are doing something you're not commanded, it's just the opposite. On your behalf, you're on a higher level. Even though you're not commanded, even though whenever the mitzvahs, what it says, whatever it is, nevertheless he's still doing it, right? But when a mitzvah veise, when he's doing what's commanded, so he has the keach hamitzaveh, the keach habeire, the keach of the Creator, and that is the whole idea, keach of the Creator. So that is, it's changed. He is changed, and the world is changed around him. The keach habeire, which the Hashem, which is higher than the whole realm of spirituality and physicality put together. The way it says, the Eibishter is higher. Godliness, just like how much infinite the Eibishter is higher than Oretz, he's also higher than Shemayim, than the highest level of spirituality. And the way it's explained, the highest level of spirituality compared to Hashem, he has to he has to come down lower. It's an infinite to the level of Hashem. So the Keach HaBeireh, this is what happened by Matan Torah. That what happened, that Bo HaMelech Ubitlag Zeireh, the Eibishter with his infinite Keach, that there is no more separation, and we have the power to connect every mitzvah we do, every Torah that we learn, to connect and bring down godliness, Kedusha, into this world, and not only in this world, obviously, beginning and mainly in the person. And therefore, this is not only about mitzvahs we're speaking about, this is also when we mentioned two questions we asked before. Number one, the question was asked about mitzvahs, the kimo of his kol Torah kula chanitno, what was the greatness of Matan Torah? The mitzvahs were given before, and we asked also the question about learning Torah. What they also learned Torah. They had yeshivas. They even maybe learned Torah more. So the Torah is also our Yid now learning Torah. It's not only he is learning Torah, and he is learning a deep wisdom, a deep understanding, very profound knowledge, and so on. So what? What happens? If a person wouldn't know that this is Torah, so to say, well, there's concepts in Yonim of Torah that are, whether, let's say, in Cheshem Mishpat, there's many things that is learned with secular people, the lawyers, judges, let's say, and everything, and you're learning it not as a part of Torah. If it would be we would translate things, and just for learning it with a secular person, and which is a Yehudi. That's not considered Torah. Yid learns Torah. He is changed. Famous the Gemara. What's the famous Gemara? Omar Rabbi Yosef, Ilav ha-yemed kagorim kama Yosef iki b'shuke. That's a talk for itself, a long talk, but we're just using it for we're talking here. If Ilav ha-yemed kagorim, if not for this day, he says he asked to make a special meal, a special kachli eglet also. Bring a calf that's born to be the third that was born. It's the most special calf that is born, and make for me a special meal. He says, why? Because ilav hayem edukakarim. If not this day, how many kama Yosef Geshuku? Then I'm the same man. His name is Yosef. There's a lot of Yosefs in the street, meaning to say Yosefs. That there's a lot of there's a lot of people. So Rashi says an expression. Shalamadeti Teire v'nisri mamti. I learned Teire v'nisri mamti. He was elevated. What does this mean? Ilav hayeme dekorim. Why is it hayeme? What's that point of ilav hayeme? If not this day, if not Teire. If I know of Teire. There's others who don't know of Teire, and if ilav Teire. Hayem, if not this specific day, from Torah? No. It's not the Torah. It's the Torah that was given by Matan Torah. It's the Torah which was given by Vav B'Sivan. By this Torah, which was given, this caused Lamat Torah v'nisrei mamti. He is a changed person. He's a different person. A mind, a Yid, that learns Torah, and his mitzias is Torah. It's not because he's more smarter. He has more wisdom in him, and he became a smarter man, a more intelligent man, a more knowledgeable man. Not what we're talking about. It changed. The person is changed. His mind is changed, and the whole person is elevated. How is this take? Okay, so we're saying this is just like we said by mitzvahs. Doing a mitzvah, we change the gashmis of the world. We bring down Kedusha. It's a different object in the world. Our hand is changed, so Torah also. But what is the point here? So just like we spoke before by mitzvahs, Because what was accomplished, what happened by Matan Torah, what is it? Vayered Hashem al Sinai. And this is a question is asked, the famous. What are they? Keilus uvrokim v'anokov lahar. What the Eibishter Sachakal say? The Aseres HaDibris. Most of the things are dvorim pshutim b'yeser. Right? What's the 5 last dibris? There's, let's say, you have Leisirtzoch, Leisinov, Leisignev, which was dvorim pshutim. It says. What do you mean dvorim pshutim? We need Matan Torah for that. They shall not kill, they shall not steal, and so on. The Gemara says, you need Torah for that. It's a logical thing, and the world cannot exist if there would be Ritzich or Gneva and Zayla and so on. So the Eibishter came down to Har Sinai, we would think, would hear, wow, the deepest lumdis, the deepest thoughts would be ge'enis. No, that's not what we heard. No, it's, even the first dibris. Okay, the first 3-4 dibris is all connected to Eibishter. So on. There's also there simply, it doesn't say, we're not speaking about such profound and deep ideas here. So what is Aseres HaDibris? Okay, we know that the Aseres HaDibris, it says, and the Aseres HaDibris was included, the whole Torah is included in the Aseres HaDibris. And Rashi brings it right away in Pashim Mishpatim. The Rashi brings it away from the Rasag. All the whole Torah is included in the Aseres HaDibris. And not only, and it says also by Torah B'Perusha Nitno is given, but it was given Ho Torah Shebiksav and Ho Torah Shebapeh. But nevertheless, in a revealed sense, Begoli, what was there? Begoli, what was given? L'chayre dvarim pshutim, the way it says. So what is this? What happened by Matan Torah? We're not speaking about what was given. We're speaking what has happened here. This is not, the Eibishter did not come and give us a very deep thought and deep seichlim. This is the, so to say, the godliness which is in Torah. This is what we called in Lashon Chassidus the halakus which is in Torah. Anechi Hashem alekecha. It says like this. Anechi, it says Rosh Tevis, Ano nafshi ksavis Yehovis. There's the Gersa, it's Gemara in Shabbos. There's the Gersa in Yankiv. Simply it means, Ano nafshi, I myself, I wrote the Torah and I gave it. That's the way it's simply understood. But according to Gersa Yankiv, the way it's explained is, Ano nafshi ksavis Yehovis. I, my nefesh, so to say about godliness, we could say nefesh ksavis Yehovis. I wrote myself in, and I gave myself into the Torah. In other words, when we are learning Torah, what are we learning? We're learning deep chachmah, deep sichlim, deep wisdom. When we are learning Torah, we are connecting to Hashem. We are connecting to godliness. Lashon, what does it say? Let's say in Medish. Eisi atem leichim. Who are we taking? We are taking the Eibishter. So, what is this change? What changes the person by him learning Torah? Because now he learned, because he became now Baki B'Shas, so he's a very smart person. He's and so on, or he learned a lot of Lomdis. It's because if he is relating to Torah in such a way, meaning to say, if he is learning Torah just for the seichel of Torah, just because it's a, so to say, there's the Torah, it says, Hi chochmaschim ubenaschim le'inei amim. Sure, Hi chochmaschim ubenaschim le'inei amim. There's no comparison to all the chochmas that there is all naveless of Torah. Has no comparison to the depth and the wisdom of Torah, no comparison whatsoever. And we say, Hi chochmaschim ubenaschim le'inei amim. Even though the Gemara says this is going about Kiddush HaChedesh, Chochmas Chav Mazolis, but in general it's also brought L'gaber Hi chochmaschim ubenaschim le'inei amim. But is that, if a person is learning Torah for, I'm not saying even for, besides that, for he should become a Talmid Chacham, or he should become a Rav, which that is a inyan of Shleilish Molish and Pniya. So, if a person learns Torah for alternative motives, especially for himself, it's called Shleilish Mol. And in the Lashon of Chassidus, in the Lashon of Kabbalah, it says, he is Meisif Chayes, not in Gedusha. He is giving energy and giving life and giving Chayes to Klipitzes. So we're not speaking about that if he's learning for that sake. Look, even he's learning Torah for the Chochmah of Torah, for the wisdom of Torah. But if he does not realize and is not learning Torah for what? Because this is the way, this is the Chochmah of the Eibishter, and here is godliness, and this is how we connect to Hashem, so he is missing the whole point of Torah. And not only is missing the whole point, that there isn't this connection of Hashem, to Hashem through this Torah. And that is the famous, what it says, it says, it says, why was the world, it's Amav Doretz, what was the Churban? Because so the famous, this everyone knows, what do you mean? Wow, such a big Aveda. When I say they didn't learn Torah, and the Gemara says, Halavai Eisi Yozovu v'Tirasi Shemoru. When they say they didn't learn Torah, okay, we understand. They didn't observe the Torah. No, they learned Torah, but they didn't make a Birchas HaTorah. Okay, this is the Fashidna Deis. This is a day, a Birchas HaTorah is the Raisa. But is that so Chomor B'Yeser? That's why there was the Churban Abayis. So we know the famous Bach. The famous Bach that is in Simon Zayin Erechaim, and he explains what does it mean by Torah, that they didn't learn Torah for the sake to be dovuk b'kedushas HaTorah, to be dovuk in the Eibishter. They learned it for the Chachmah and so on, and that caused what? The Churban. Now, obviously, it's not something that we're saying here. That's b'derech einish. That is a punishment that the Eibishter gave Klal Yisrael. They didn't make Birchas Torah, and they didn't learn Torah properly. Lidovik, it's a punishment. It's a natural result, because, in other words, when do we have the Eibishter? When are we connected to the Eibishter? When is our Metzias connected to godliness? When we are learning Torah for the inyan of the Kedushas HaTorah, which means the Einisof that's in Torah, the lekuved that's in Torah, Hashem that's in Torah, the godliness that's in Torah, the Anan Nafshik Sovis Yehovis, Hashem, He wrote Himself in, He Himself, His essence, He wrote Himself in, and He gave Himself into the Torah, and that is the inyan of Torah. And that's why, Shlomar Ilav Hayem Edekagorim, if not for this day, what would be? People learning a lot of Chochmas, and even they were learning Torah. But when it's Mamti, he's a different person. No, that's not. So here we're speaking about in both things. In other words, so we have here this idea, this concept of the Bittul Agzeira, which happened by Matan Torah. Al Yeinim Yerdul Tachteinim Tachteinim Yal Al Yeinim, which is by creation by itself cannot be. It cannot be because it doesn't make sense to be, as we mentioned. Spirituality and physicality have no shaykhis. Here we hang not only spirituality and physicality have a shaykhis, godliness, lekus, which is higher than ruchnis. This affects the gashmistic world, where we're speaking about a mitzvahs that affecting the world, affecting the person. We're speaking about Torah, connecting to become one with the Eibishter himself. This is something that is not in the realm of the world. This is the Bittul Agzeira. When did this start? Now, according to this, it says, one of the, I'm sure you heard about it. It says in Medrash, Pasha Veschanan says, Kol advarim asher shamaitim, all this that you heard was Keil Godel v'le Yosef. Keil Godel v'le Yosef. It didn't stop. And the Medrash has many interpretations. What does it mean, Keil Godel v'le Yosef? The call constantly continued. So there's many explanations there in the Medrash. There's one explanation that this Kel Gadol, that this is Yosef. This was also the continuation in all the Tanaim Nameroim, all the Teira Sheba'al Peh. It says Kel Gadol Yosef. It developed from this. All the Nevi'im took Kel Gadol Yosef. This is came in all the Shivim Loshen. And then there's one interpretation. The Kel Gadol Yosef is Yosef. It didn't have a baskel. There was no echo. And this is an obvious question that is asked. It didn't have an echo. What's the big deal that it doesn't have an echo? When Hashem's Kel, Anech Hashem Elokecha B'Aseres HaDibros, there was no echo. Well, if it doesn't have, first of all, what's the point? What is the show? If it doesn't have an echo, it shows it's not a very powerful voice. If you're between mountains and you're in a desert and you have a loud voice, you have an echo hearing coming from all sides. And what's the point there? Obviously it was a Kel Gadol. So what did the Eibush do? It was a miracle. What's the point of this miracle? The Eibush doesn't make a miracle in vain. What does this have? So what is the explanation? The famous explanation from the Rabbi that Kel Gadol. What is the idea of echo? What's the concept of echo? When you say a loud voice, and it echoes from all sides. It's in a sense, it's so to say, it's echoing off from the wall. If it would be in a place where there's so to say cotton or something soft, there wouldn't be an echo. Must be a hard place or something like that. So in other words, the echo means that it's not absorbed in this place. It's not absorbed in the surroundings around it. We're saying the Kel of Matan Torah didn't have an echo. What does it mean, the echo? The Kel of Matan Torah, sure, it was obviously a kol that was Nishmel Znaim. It was a Kel Gadol of Hashem. But this is a Kedusha Dike kol. This is a godly kol. LeYosef, that means that didn't have echo. It means it was the world did not, so to say, echo off, meaning to say the call of the Eibush didn't bounce off the world. It was absorbed. It was absorbed in creation. Now, what does this mean? Obviously, this is metaphorically speaking, but it's Begashmi is also like this. What does it mean? The call of Aseres HaDibros was absorbed in all the surroundings all around. That means that it, as we said, mentioned before, Ruchnis, spirituality, is not absorbed in Gashmis, has no connection. The Kol of Hashem, which is higher than a Kol Ruchni, was absorbed. That means it penetrated and permeated the whole world, and everywhere. And this is why we say it only then by Aseres HaDibros, because that is the Chidush of Matan Torah, that the Kol Ruchni, the Kol of godliness, the Kol of Hashem, of Aseres HaDibros, Anech Hashem Elokecha, permeated the world. It didn't, the Gashmis did not, the world itself was a different world from then on. Till then, and this is what we started explaining, Eretz Yora V'Shakota, the world was trembling. Now it's not only, it's a Tnai. The Eibishter made Tnai, he's not Kodesh Baruch Hu, Ma'aseh Bereishis, the Eibishter made a condition with creation. If the Bnei Yisrael are going to receive the Torah, okay, then you're going to continue as existing. If not, you're going to totally be destroyed. So they were worried about what is going to be if Bnei Yisrael not going to receive the Torah. So the Eibishter is going to destroy them. It's a natural thing. In other words, like this, as we mentioned, the world is created b'shvil Yisrael b'shvil Torah. Before the Hashem gave Bnei Yisrael the Torah, so the world was something separate. Or it's not Bnei Yodim. The world, by creation, is not a real existence. Is not really real. When did it become? What do you mean not really real? If, in other words, if godliness is not felt, if the trueness of what the world is not felt in creation, so it doesn't exist. So what happened by Matan Torah? that Bittul Agzeire and the call of the Eibishter permeated the Yisrael received the Torah, and godliness permeated the world. Now they have existence. Now they exist. What do you mean? Now there is a reason. That's not only a reason for his existence. It means to say now they are really connected with trueness. The world itself is not a reality. Is not real. It doesn't really exist. It only depends on the Keach of the Eibishter. Now when the true reality, which is godliness, which is revealed by Matan Torah to Bnei Yisrael, came about, so then this gave a schus kiyum, so to say, in creation. And this is, you following? So this is also the idea we were saying, the concept of kelis ubrokim. What is this kelis? What is this kelis ubrokim? Thunders and lightnings. The concept of thunders and lightnings is everything. This is something which is not the ordinary manner, which is then till then. Something magnificent is happening. A revolution is happening here, because it is a revolution. In other words, the way world sees it, the way Gashmi sees it, the way the world in general, this is a revolutionary concept in the whole idea of creation, which separates the world from godliness. Therefore, Shiur scales Baruchim. So now we understand this is what Matan Torah accomplished, even though they learned Torah before, they did mitzvahs before, but the world did not change, and the people did not change. Not through learning Torah, not through doing mitzvahs, didn't change. Now we know like this. Matan Torah is happened so many 3,000 how many years ago, whatever happened after Beis Alaf and Taf Mem Ches. That's Matan Torah. What are we doing? What's happening every year by Shavuos? We are Matan Torah Seinu. We are remembering what happened so many years ago. So we know one of the basic concepts of Chassidus, of Teres Abal Shem Tov, and really it's Merum is many Svarim, that the Zman Matan Torah Seinu, and not only Matan Torah, every Yontif, it's not only, just like we were commemorating Seichit Yitzias Mitzrayim Pesach, remembering what happened. So therefore we do all the mitzvahs of this night. We're eating a matzah, we're eating a motor, we're having a seder to remember Yitzias Mitzrayim. We know that. Chayev Odom Liris Etz Atzmik Ilu Hu Yotza Yemim Mitzrayim. So when he's having Yontif Pesach, and when he's sitting by the seder, he is going out of Mitzrayim now, and that's a chiyuv. Why is it? Because really, it's not only we have to relive it. You know why we have to relive Yitzias Mitzrayim, the night of Yitzias Mitzrayim? Because the idea of Yitzias Mitzrayim, what happened? Belil Tezvov Nisan in Beis Alaf from Taf Mem Ches. What happened then? There was the revelation of the Eibishter, which brought out the Yidden of Mitzrayim. This Geula, Nigla Leim Melech Malcham Lach HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'chvei Devatzim Over Golem. The same thing is Kriyas Yamsuf that happened 7 days later. The nest that happened is a result what happened in the spiritual realm. Is a result what happened in the Gili Lukus, and therefore that day was Yitzias Mitzrayim, which was a great miracle. Bnei Yisrael Tzimeret Mitzrayim. This Chaf Aleph Nisan was this specific godly revelation, this specific Gili Lukus, what happened, which caused that should be Kriyas Yamsuf. So the miracles that happened, Begashmis, in the physical realm, was a result of what happened in the spiritual realm. Because there was this Gili, this great Gili, the Keach Aliki, and therefore Bnei Yisrael were able to go out of Mitzrayim. And therefore this night was Kriyas Yamsuf, and the same thing as everything. Really it's Merumas, it's got to be. So obviously the same thing is also Matan Torah, and not only the same thing, it's even more. By Matan Torah, we say Zman Matan Torah Seinu, which we say B'Chag HaShavuos. What is this? It's not only we're saying now this is the Zman of Matan Torah so many thousand years ago. as I said, just like by Yetzias Mitzrayim and Keis Yamsuf, there was this great Gilui Elokus, this great revelation of godliness, which caused Yetzias Mitzrayim and Keis Yamsuf. So therefore, we are praving the Seder. No, it's not because we remember, because now is Yetzias Mitzrayim, now is Keis Yamsuf. More so, just the same thing, and even more so is by Matan Torah. What is more so by Matan Torah? By Matan Torah is B'chol Shana V'Shana. There is this inyan of the Eibishter is giving the Torah. There's the Matan Torah and Kabbalah Torah. So this revelation, this Gili, which was by Matan Torah, right? He Kelis Ubrokim Varan Kol V'Dalahor V'Yar Karom V'Yunu V'Yam D'Merochek. This Gili is in every year B'Chag HaShavuos, which obviously, it's known that this is one of the reasons that we're up the night of the first night of Shavuos, and it says in Shalot, many places with this whole story, the famous story with the Bis Yosef, and how they were up. They said it Kunekale, the way it's brought in the Zayar, it's Kuneshchine, Chavdalet Keshut Shchine, which is all, so to say, alluding to Inyonim of Matan Torah in Lashon HaKabbalah, which is happening this night. So b'chol shana v'shana, it says, therefore it says, mal lahalm be'im avira b'res subeziyah, afkan be'im avira b'res subeziyah. It says, just like b'matan Torah. How did we receive the Torah? It was be'im avira b'res subeziyah, with fear and awe, sweating and so on, trembling. The same thing is, every time when a person learns Torah, in general, and specifically when we're speaking about Shavuos, it's supposed to be be'im avira b'res subeziyah. And the question is asked, well, how could it be? Then sure it was be'im avira b'res subeziyah. Sure they were trembling. Sure they were in awe. Because the Vayeret Hashem last Sinai, there was Kelis U'Barakam and so on. They saw Gili Shchina. Well, how could it be now? He says because now also every Shavuos, and really as mentioned every day, is the Yom Matan Torah, is the revelation of godliness by Matan Torah, just like it was the first time, and just like then to receive the Torah. So there's just like there was it's a bigger revolution that happened then. The connection of Yidden with the Eibishter, the connection that we should be able to change the world, change ourselves. We are different. Our learning so this every year is the same. So we have to have this akdome. We have to be prepared. Therefore, just like by Matan Torah, there was the preparation of Bnei Yisrael through Sirus Eimer. They were counting. 49 days they were counting till Tavdin Silikim Loharazeh. And then there was this specific Achonis to Matan Torah, which started from Reish Chodesh Sivan, and then Beis Sivan, when Moshe Rabbeinu told Vatam Tilim Lachas Kenim V'Gei Kodesh. Then there was the Shleishim Yakbola and the Prisha and so on, which came to, and this brought to Matan Torah. And then there was the Erev Shavuos, which was in Yisrael, Higdimul Nasel in Ishma, and that brought the Matan Torah, the same thing as every year. All these preparations are repeated. Why they repeat it? It's also just like it's not something that we remember what we did then and let's copy that, because to receive the Torah we have to do all these achones. We have to be a keli, we have to be a vessel to receive the Torah. How is this? All these things. So, if we were to be speaking about a concept, so to say, understanding something, we have to work on our mind, and harav ashtikl gemara, harav anataisvis. You have to put your mind at this, harav. But then there's the inyan of, as we say in the end of Shemoneh Esrei, v'nafshi ka'ofer lakil tiyeh b'sach li b'mesiras. What is the hagdome? B'sach li b'mesiras. It's nafshi ka'ofer lakil tiyeh. What does this mean? In other words, this bittul, one of the main hagdomas, so we say, the last hagdomah to Matan Torah was Higdim Nasal Nishma, Shosh Higdim Yisrael Nasal Nishma, which means to say, this is when Bnei Yisrael, so to say, were mevatel themselves. They're not saying, okay, we're ready to receive the Torah, let's hear what you have what to say. No, we're saying, we are ready to do, and then we'll hear. Which this is, everyone knows, this is the basic Hakdama to Matan Torah, the bittul that it says, the bittul telekuz, we're ready to do even before. The Gemara is Maidchen them, Amma Bezisa, the Kamisu B'Maichelut Naichu, the way this person said to Rabbi, what's the matter with you, Rabbi? I'm a bzis, you said your word before you listened. It says, yeah, tumas yeshorim tanchim. That is the way, that is how we are really yeshorim from the Eibishter. Why is this? What is this Akdama B'Shoshi? Because since we're not, we prepare ourselves to receive. If we're hearing from Rosh Shiva, a big pilpul, so we have to learn and we have to prepare ourselves, sharpen our mind. But when we're here to take Teirosha Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the infinite Teir of the Eibishter, that is not, that's not through sharpening our mind and preparing ourselves. That is through the total bittul, the total nullification, to be prepared to receive Teirosha Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which Teirosha Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the infinite Teir. And this is every year, as mentioned, so we are preparing for Matan Torah, because every year there is Matan Torah Mechodesh. It says, it's brought in Psikte that you should read for me the Aseres HaDibros, and you should visualize, and you should imagine that you're standing by Matan Torah. When we are reading the Aseres HaDibros B'Shavuos, and therefore, the meaning is many, many places, understood that we bring everyone, even small children, babies, we bring to Aseres HaDibros. Could they hear? Could they understand? How did it says, just like it says by Matan Torah, it says, everyone was a part of Har Sinai, of Matan Torah. Matan Torah wasn't only given to Moshe Aaron and the Shimon Kenim and only to the Shishim Ribim Yisrael who were Ben Esrim Shana V'Mayla. Matan Torah was given to everyone. So the same thing is the giving of the Torah, which is the connection to the Eibishter through Torah, which doesn't go through wisdom, doesn't go through our understanding, doesn't go through our knowledge. This is a neshama connection that a Jew becomes one with Eibishter. And really this is based on, so to say, even in Nigla. When was the Gerus of Am Yisrael? When was the Gemar HaGerus? The Gemar HaGerus was Matan Torah. It started after going out of Mitzrayim. Shleisha Dvorim Nichnasu Yisrael Bris, B'mila, B'tfila V'artzos Domim. That Tzos Domim was Erev Chag HaShavuos. So this is this connection to the Eibishter, which even though before that they learned, and there was Mekayim mitzvahs, and there were going out of Mitzrayim, where everything they did the mitzvah. No, this is the basic neshama connection of every yid, in which situation he is to the Eibishter, which the Eibishter connected everyone on Necha Hashem L'kecha b'Matan Torah. Many stories are told by great tzaddikim how they prepared themselves for Matan Torah. They asked the Moshe the Frierdiker Rebbe, the Mittler Rebbe, which was the son of the Balatanya. They asked him, what should we? Everyone was saying, what are we wishing ourselves that we should feel this night? That we should experience Shavuos. They thought surely he'll say, we should be able to really understand the depth of Torah, or really understand the depth of, not only the depth of Torah, but Pnimis HaTorah, Seidus HaTorah. The famous saying of the Chasam Sefer, that by Matan Torah, Nigle was benister and Nister was benigle. Which means, Nigle the Torah, the whole plumness of Torah, wasn't in a revealed way. It was only that we had Aseres HaDibros. But Nister the Torah, which means Pnimis HaTorah, that wasn't revealed. The Eibishter, as we mentioned, the Eibishter came down with the whole Ma'aseh Merkavah, and they saw the depth, which is, we speak in Kabbalah, and everything was revealed by Matan Torah, the secrets of Torah, that was in a revealed way. So they were surely that he was going to say, I should really understand the depth of Torah and the Pnimis HaTorah. So the Mittler Rebbe, it was the time of the Alter Rebbe his father was living. He wasn't the Rebbe yet. Says he wished he would be able to feel the lavas eish of Matan Torah. And many stories by tzaddikim, how they experienced, they were referring to this night of Chag HaShavuos and the hearing of Aseres HaDibros, the idea of Matan Torah and Kabbalah HaTorah. So this is something that we are taking upon ourselves. Say when we prepare for Matan Torah Kedeboy properly. And Memele, so Matan Torah is Kedeboy, and realize, and this is that we take upon ourselves. There's a word from the Frierdiker Rebbe. Frierdiker Rebbe says, previous Lubavitch Rebbe said, that a person should say in this night, he should verbalize, I want to take upon myself the El Torah. He should verbalize. So he's, so to say, he's receiving the Torah. A person who's learning, he learned Torah a whole year. But every year there's a new Matan Torah. A new Matan Torah, so it's a new connection to Torah, a new connection to the Eibishter. It has a different keach that the days after his learning Torah should be in a higher level, in a deeper level, and mainly in a more Gdusha level, in a more right way, learning Torah to connecting to the Eibishter Nesna Torah, not only to learn the Chachma of Torah. It's a deeper way of continuing after Shavuos in Kiyum HaMitzvahs, and understanding and realizing and appreciating how every mitzvah is a tzafse v'chibur, connects him to Eibishter, become one to Eibishter, how he affects everything in the world, and really, what is the ultimate of Matan Torah? This is going to be revealed, lovely. What is going to be when Mashiach comes? It says, "V'nigla kved Hashem, v'ro kol basar yachdav kipi Hashem diber." But just like Matan Torah, it says that Hakel Yetze from all four corners of the world, from all four corners they heard Oneich Hashem Alekecha. As we mentioned before, just like in the Kel Gadol Yosef, in other words, the world itself was screaming that there's nothing besides Hashem. That is the ultimate of this is going to be when Mashiach comes, and which the Kel of the so to say the Shofar. It says there's the Shofar, there's the Eli Shel Yitzchak. From Akedes Yitzchak, there was two shayfers. There was the shayfer Shel Smol, which was Kela Shayfer, which was by Matan Torah, and the shayfer Shel Yamin. This is going to be the Kela Shayfer when Mashiach comes, and they're both connected. Because one is going to be the ultimate of Matan Torah, the effect of Matan Torah, what Matan Torah is accomplished, and what is going to be the ultimate is going to be when Mashiach comes. We see v'nigla kved Hashem v'ro kol basar yachdav kipi Hashem diber. We'll see there's nothing separate. Everything in the world is really godliness, and just like we mentioned before, the Kel Gadol Yosef, it permeated everything in creation. Now also, when a person learns and davens, everything it does is permeated in the chfetzim around him. Not only when he does a mitzvah, so he's changing this klaf, he's changing the semer. A person learning Torah in a room that Torah is being learned, by a table that the Torah is being learned, and so on, is different than it's not a makom Torah. And many, many stories of tzaddikim, how they felt that in this place there was a tzaddik who davened, and this place there was a tzaddik who learned, and so on. So the Eibishter should help that we should prepare ourselves to Matan Torah properly, and we should be mekabel the Torah b'simchu b'pnimis. This is by everyone the way you're supposed to.